down in San Antonio, they are crazy for breakfast tacos. And the thing that distinguishes a breakfast taco from one that you'd eat for dinner is that you eat it in the morning. Now, sometimes they're filled with breakfast foods like eggs or sausage, but oftentimes you can find them filled with traditional meat fillings like you would eat for dinner. And they're a delicious way to start the day. And today, Ashley's gonna show us how to make them at home.
That's right, I am. Now, people in San Antonio are so crazy about tacos that they even sell them at the gas station.
That's a little crazy.
Right. So let's get started. I'm gonna show you first the Salsa Roja, which is the red sauce. Start by stemming 1 Roma tomato, and I'm gonna core the center of it out here. And now chop this here, and we have 1 pound total of the tomatoes. Add 2 cloves of chopped garlic. Stir it until combined. And now I'm gonna microwave these tomatoes for about 4 minutes.
We want to remove excess liquid so that the salsa won't be too thick.
So the tomatoes are gonna start to steam and the liquid begins to pool at the bottom of the bowl. 4 minutes later, and let's take a look at all of that liquid.
That's a lot of liquid.
And now I am gonna add these tomatoes to this blender here. To this, I'm gonna add 1 jalapeno that I have seeded and chopped, and 2 tablespoons of cilantro, 1 tablespoon of lime juice, 1 teaspoon of salt, and just for some controlled heat, 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. Just gonna process this until smooth, which will take about 45 seconds. Let's take a look. Take a little whiff of that.
Ooh, that smells good. You can really smell the jalapeno and the cilantro coming through.
Much better, too, than just opening up a jar of salsa.
And I like the texture. It's nice and thick, so it'll stick to the taco.
No t-shirt dripping. Promise. Okay, let's take a walk on over to the stove. Now we're gonna start focusing on the filling of our breakfast tacos. And the first thing we're going to do is cook 8 ounces of chorizo. Now, chorizo is Mexican-style sausage. It's not cooked, so you do have to cook it. So I'm gonna add that chorizo over medium heat. And if you notice, I took the casings off of the chorizo. And I'm just gonna cook this until well browned all over, which will take about 6 to 8 minutes. It's been 8 minutes, and this chorizo is looking beautiful.
It looks awesome. It smells good, too.
I'm gonna continue to build the filling. So this is 1 small onion that is finely minced. And here we have 1 more jalapeno that I also took the seeds out of and chopped. Cook these for about 4 to 6 minutes until the vegetables are just softened. While these are cooking, let's step over here.
Hey, eggs!
Eggs. It's breakfast time. Let's have some eggs. So if you notice, we have quite a bit of eggs in here. This is 12 large eggs.
A whole carton.
A whole carton. And I'm gonna add 1/2 teaspoon salt and 1/4 teaspoon pepper. And I'm gonna whisk these until the mixture is completely yellow, and that's gonna take about 1 whole minute. Okay, looks beautiful to me.
Looks good and even.
Let's get scrambling. All right, so I'm just gonna add these eggs to the skillet.
Now, you still have the heat over medium heat.
Yes, low and slow for these scrambled eggs. And if you notice, I switched to a rubber spatula.
I did notice.
Yes. I'm going to continually move these eggs around the skillet until they start to clump, and until the rubber spatula, when I drag it through the center, leaves a nice clear lane. That's how I know they're almost cooked, but not totally. And that's gonna take about 1.5 to 2.5 minutes.
Okay.
Now there is a range in there because depending on the skillet and the pan you use, they all have different dimensions in the bottom.
Ain't that the truth?
Exactly. So it's really important to pay attention to the visual cues as opposed to just the time range or heat level in this recipe.
Okay. Ooh, I'm starting to see a trail.
Yes, the eggs are on their way to being cooked. Now, if you notice, they still look pretty wet. So that's gonna be an additional just 30 to 60 seconds. Reduce the heat to low, and I'm going to cook them, just moving them ever so slightly until they start to clump more, but they're gonna still look wet. A lot of times we cook eggs so much to the point where they look so dry because they're overcooked.
Nothing worse than a dry egg.
Exactly. So here, they're almost close. I'd say we have about 10 seconds left. All right. Yes. So if you see, it looks still slightly wet. So let's stop cooking these eggs and let's eat.
I like it.
Okay. So I'm gonna slide this over. So in that tortilla warmer, we have some homemade flour tortillas.
Ooh, and these homemade flour tortillas are awesome. Ooh, I love the rustic edge of a good homemade tortilla.
For the toppings, we have the salsa that we made earlier.
Looks so good.
Some shredded Monterey Jack cheese.
I love when you get the cheese on a hot taco and it just starts to melt a little bit.
Sliced scallions and some lime wedges.
My favorite flavors. All right. Man, so good. The
So good.
chorizo is really flavorful with the eggs. I like a little bit of onion and quite a kick of jalapeno, which I dig.
But not too much. And I love the texture of the eggs. They're nice and moist. They're not dry and rubbery. Oh, and that flour tortilla.
Ashley, thank you. These are awesome.
Oh, thank
New
you.
favorite. So to make your own Texas-style morning, start by making a salsa roja using fresh tomatoes that you microwave, drain, then blend until smooth. For the tacos, make a flavorful egg scramble starting with chorizo, onion, and jalapeno. Once the eggs are added to the pan, cook them for about 2 minutes on medium, then turn the heat down to low to finish. Serve with a homemade flour tortilla, and you're raring to go.
Thanks for watching Cook's Country from America's Test Kitchen. So what'd you think?
Leave a comment and let us know which recipes you're excited to make, or just say hi.
Now you can find links to today's recipes and reviews in the video description.
And don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
See you later.
Alligator.